Hey there, Rivermen fans. I'm Jason Ruff alongside Rivermen head coach John Trudel. Welcome back to another edition of Trudel's Take presented by Health Alliance. Well, Guy, I know it's been a couple of weeks since we last talked. You've been a very busy man. Rivermen played 6 games in 2 weeks, 5-0-1 record. Where has the biggest improvement of this team been compared to when we last talked a few weeks ago?
I think consistency in our effort. I mean, it takes a while to get those summer hockey kind of habits out of the way, and the boys are starting to be consistent in the effort. And when you do that, you give yourself a chance of winning every single game. And I think we've had also, one staple we always have in Peoria is great goaltending, and we've been lucky with Churchy and now with Boyko and Levy, all three of them. Even if Levy, maybe the stats doesn't say the real story, I think he's been really solid except for a few games this year. So we're really happy with our goaltending, and then the effort is there consistently, so you give yourself a chance to win every game.
Let's get back to the goaltenders in just a second, but I want to focus first on the 3 games on the road, 2 against Knoxville, 1 against Huntsville. Rivermen just finding ways to win in some very tough road environments against opponents that traditionally have given the Rivermen some fits over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy. You go to Knoxville, it's a small rink, and they're used to playing there, and their coach is doing a good job there, Clarkey, this year, and they're hard to play against. And then we had 2 there, and then you hit Huntsville always with our 3rd and 3, and they've been waiting for us. And so it's always the same type of schedule, but we did really well. I think one thing I didn't mention also is I think that's where that road trip seems like where our leadership really started this year. I think Hags, I think GM, I think even like Mitch is starting to talk a lot more. I think our bench was a lot more lively. And I do believe it's hard here in the SPHL with only 6 days of training camp and get the guys ready. But I felt like on that road trip, the life was there, the effort was there, the consistency of the bench being alive. I think just little things that makes it, really enjoyable to coach and to play, and I think our leadership had a big role into that.
Certainly so, but you could also see it, especially in that Huntsville game. Rivermen go down by a couple of goals. They fight and claw their way back to only trail by 1 going into the second period, and the second period, Peoria just takes over and exposes the seemingly invincibility of Nick Latinovic. It seemed like the Rivermen not only were playing to a plan, but that leadership kept them in the game as well.
Yeah, as a coach, you just try to give a little plan every day, but they decide if they want to execute or not, and they did. They followed the plan, and we have enough. And I think winning has a lot to do with it last year. I think you build a lot of leadership qualities in those players, and they really took over and never got down. Even when we were down 3-1 in the first day, I don't know, just you had the feeling that they were going to keep pushing, and that's what we do here. It seems like that's our biggest weakness right now. We're not starting on time, so we have to make sure we find a solution to that. But everything else, we know we're never out of the fight. We know the guys are going to keep pushing, and that's what we did in the Huntsville. And the second period was just a beautiful thing. I think we completely dominated the game. In the O-zone, we had puck possession like there's no tomorrow, and that's what we want. We're that type of team that we want a 5-man rotation in all 3 zones, and I think we had that the last 2 periods in Huntsville.
And then, following week, followed up with a Wednesday loss to Evansville in overtime. Evansville currently sitting at the top of the SPHL league standings. And then you follow that up, great bounce back with 2 back-to-back wins against the rival Quad City. I think the second win against Quad City was probably the better one, in my opinion, just because of the adversity the Rivermen showed in the first period on the road. Calls going against you, controversial goals, whatever you could think of, it was going against the Rivermen, and they just kept clawing back, finding a way to win.
Yeah, we knew Quad City was short a few guys, and we wanted to put behind them and keep clawing. And yeah, the first period was tough, but again, we have that leadership, and there's really no panic. Even after it hit the netting and everybody saw it in the building except for 3 guys, we still knew that we had a chance to keep coming back, and those calls sometimes are going to happen in a game, and there's nothing you can do against them. All you can do is the next shift and the next play, and I think the boys really bought in, and we understood also that, if you had two guys last, that we had to keep just clawing and putting it behind them, and you could see in the second they started getting really tired, and then we took over the game, and we were missing some important parts also, but here in Peoria we just don't make excuses, and we just keep pushing.
Precisely so. Now, let's talk about the goaltending, because the Rivermen don't go 5-0-1 in their last 6 without good goaltending. Ben Churchfield with a 3 big wins, 2 of them coming in relief for Eric Levine in that first week. And then Eric Levine gets his bounce back, shutout on Friday, following up Josh Boyko making his Rivermen debut. It's been an interesting goaltending situation for the last couple of weeks. For the uninitiated, for the fans who haven't been watching this as closely as you and I, explain to us what's been going on with the goaltending situation, why the goaltending situation is so strong right now in Peoria.
Well, to be honest with you, at the beginning of the year, I'll try to make it quick. And my plans was, Boyko and Levine. Boyko did so well in Maine that they had to keep him. Goalie coach fell in love with him, and he's that good of a goalie. And then so I spoke to Church when he came in, and we had an honest conversation about if Boyko comes back, and we knew all those things. And then after that weekend that he relieved and he had a great week, Church's upper back was kind of sore on the table, and I could see was kind of that practice. He wasn't moving so well, so we had a good conversation, and a little rest doesn't do bad, especially when we knew Boyko was coming back also. So it kind of made sense to put him on the IR, get that body back in top shape. And then we also know that, whoever's here, the 2 goalies, Church, Boyko, or Levine, we trust all 3. They play really well. So it's interesting. It's tough sometimes to manage. But at the same time, as a coach, I'm very loyal to the players that I spoke to over the summer and that were here before. So we're going to keep going with that process. And we know that anybody, Levy, even the starts that I thought he played not Levy-like, he still played well, but not Levy-like. It's only 2 or 3 little adjustments, and we have such a good relationship that we can be honest with each other and what we're missing, what we have to do. It takes a practice or 2 to get him back on track. So I know a lot of fans sometimes panic over little things. For us, we have such a good relationship. We've been together for so long that I know what I'm getting from every single player.
I think the biggest thing fans were panicking over the fact that Eric Levine cut his hair for the first time in forever.
Yeah, well, we lost. I know we lost a little juice on that one, but he let the mustache go. So
yeah, I did. I think it was the mustache.
Yeah, I think it was the mustache. So we got him back. But to me, like I said, I have such a good relationship with Levy and all my players and my goalies. So I know what I'm getting. They're like everybody else, you look at even the best goalies in the NHL, they're not going to play every single game perfect.
Absolutely not.
So, as a coach, when you get older, you don't panic over little things and you kind of keep with the process. And like I said, I put Levy right back in there the next 2 games to make sure he gets his game back. And then after that, I felt like it was Boyko's time, and wow, that kid really impressed me.
Outside of his goaltending ability, what makes Josh Boyko such a special netminder?
He's got that swagger. He knows he's good. He wants the net. And that's, you get a lot of gray hairs coaching, but with a guy like that, you feel a lot comfortable when he's in the net because you know what you're getting. You know that even if he gives up a goal, he doesn't care. He knows he's good. He's going to make the next save. He plays the puck extremely well. He does a lot of good things. And like I said, he comes back to the bench on timeouts, and he's just happy. Like nothing's, we just got scored 2 really controversial goals in Quad City. He's like, we got the next. Like he doesn't, like nothing panics. And for a coach, that's what you want to see. You want to see guys that are so confident. Not cocky, but so confident that the team plays really well in front of him.
Meanwhile, Alec Bear, 6-game point streak, 4-game goal scoring streak. He is hot right now. Where is his confidence, and how have you seen it grow over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think it's growing, and I think, people don't realize, but they're all like these players are just humans also.
Right.
I think when he got released from Iowa, I'm sure that hurt without him saying it. I'm sure that kind of hurt him a little bit. And then when he got here, it's always hard to get back in the mindset of the grind also after a summer. And it took him a few games, but even now I think so much of Bearsy. I still think right now he's got so much more in the tank. Like that's how good the kid is. I mean, and he's what you want in the hockey. He's a puck possession type of guy, and he makes the D work for everything they have. So for me, those type of players are rare, and you'll see him. I think he's got another notch in him, and I think we'll see it in the upcoming week that it's going to get even better.
Oh, we look forward to seeing that. The Rivermen back at home here this Friday on December 2nd, against Vermilion County, a team that it's a little odd. Last year, it seems like the Rivermen couldn't get enough of Vermilion County. Now, not seeing them until December. December 2nd, the Rivermen will be wearing specialty cancer awareness jerseys to benefit Cancer Awareness Month. Now, Guy, obviously it's a big weekend for you in terms of home against Vermilion County, but it's also for a great cause in cancer awareness and also helping benefiting the Heller Center for children with cancer as well. When you look forward to that kind of night, does that give you a little bit extra incentive to go out and represent not only for Peoria, but for those who are fighting the ultimate battle here?
Well, yeah, it's always something that you want to make sure that you represent the right way, and for us, I can't even just say one name. Everybody's affected from cancer. You know what I mean? You have a lot in family members and friends, and it's just a battle that we keep fighting, worldwide, and we try to beat every single day. So anything that could help that cause, we're all in for it. And I think it's always, a great night, but at the same time, it makes you think how lucky you are to be healthy, and how much you want to fight for those people that are affected from that battle. So for us, it's a hockey game, but at the same time, it's got a whole new meaning when it comes to cancer, because that's a battle we've been fighting for a while. We're going to keep fighting. Hopefully one day we'll beat.
Absolutely. Heller Center will be accepting donations throughout the contest on this Friday, December 2nd. The Rivermen will be wearing specialty jerseys that'll be auctioned off at the conclusion of the game. Guy, thanks so much for your time. We got to do this more than once every other week, my friend. This is too fun.
I hear you. I love you, buddy. Great job.
Thank you, Guy. For Jean-Guy Trudel, I'm Jason Ruff. This has been Trudel's Take. See you next time, Rivermen fans.